7 critical blood pressure mistakes seniors must avoid. Picture this. You're sitting in your doctor's office. They check your blood pressure and tell you it's 140/90. You're confused. You've been taking your medication, cutting back on salt, doing everything right. So why are the numbers still high? Here's the truth. High blood pressure is called the silent killer for a reason. You don't feel sick. You don't look sick. But quietly, in the background, it's damaging your arteries, your heart, even your brain, every single day. And here's something even more shocking. A study from Harvard Medical School found that 78% of seniors are making critical blood pressure mistakes. And most have no idea. These mistakes aren't just about forgetting a pill or eating too much salt. Some of the most dangerous ones happen right at home, in ways you'd never expect. In this video, we're going to uncover the 7 most critical blood pressure mistakes seniors make. And the second mistake on this list? A major medical journal found it increases your risk of stroke by 62% and heart attack by 45%. Yet hardly anyone talks about it. So stay with us. What you learn today could literally save your life. Before we dive in, tell us in the comments, where are you watching from and how are you currently managing your blood pressure? We read and reply to every message. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more life-saving health tips just like this one. Let's begin. Mistake number 7, relying on just one blood pressure reading. Here's a surprising fact. A study in the American Journal of Medicine followed 3,200 seniors over 5 years. They discovered that those who relied on a single blood pressure reading were wrong about their true blood pressure status 43% of the time. That's nearly half. Why? One reason is something called white coat hypertension, where your blood pressure spikes just from being in a medical setting. The stress of the doctor's office can raise your reading by 20, even 30 points. And beyond that, blood pressure naturally changes throughout the day. It rises in the morning, dips after meals, spikes under stress, and drops again during sleep. A Johns Hopkins study found that in older adults, blood pressure can vary by up to 40 points in a single day. So that one reading, it's like judging the ocean by looking at a single wave. Here's the solution. Start taking your blood pressure at home, twice a day for a week. Each time, take 3 readings, 1 minute apart, and average them. Do this. Morning, before taking any medication. Evening, before dinner. Sit quietly for 5 minutes beforehand, with your feet flat and your arms supported at heart level. According to the European Society of Cardiology, home monitoring like this reduces your risk of heart events by 31%, compared to relying on office readings alone. Simple change, big difference. Mistake number 6. Taking blood pressure medication at the wrong time. This mistake is more dangerous than you might think, and it's costing lives. A massive study called the Hygia chronotherapy trial, which tracked over 19,000 people for 6 years, found something extraordinary. People who took their blood pressure meds at night instead of in the morning had a 45% lower risk of heart attack, 45% lower risk of stroke, and 45% lower risk of heart failure, just by changing when they took their medication. Why does timing matter so much? Your blood pressure follows a natural rhythm. It rises in the early morning, peaks mid-morning, then slowly declines. That early morning rise is dangerous. It's when most heart attacks and strokes occur. When you take your medication in the morning, it may wear off by the time your body needs it most. At night, your body is supposed to experience a dip in blood pressure while you sleep, about 10 to 20%. People who don't have this dip, called non-dippers, have double the risk of heart problems. Taking your medication at night supports this natural and protective pattern. But there's a catch. Not all medications are safe for nighttime use, especially diuretics, which can disrupt your sleep. So don't make the switch on your own. Talk to your doctor. They may suggest adjusting your dosage, timing, or switching medications entirely. And monitor your blood pressure closely during the transition. Mistake number 5, ignoring a silent mineral deficiency. Here's a critical statistic. A study in the Journal of the American College of Nutrition found that 68% of adults over 60 are deficient in magnesium, a key mineral that helps regulate blood pressure. Another study from the University of Minnesota found that people with low magnesium had a 37% higher risk of developing high blood pressure. Magnesium helps your blood vessels relax, regulates calcium, and keeps stress hormones in check. Without enough of it, your blood vessels tighten, your heart works harder, and your nervous system stays on high alert. A major analysis of over 1 million people found that increasing magnesium intake by just 100 milligrams a day lowered the risk of stroke by 7% and heart failure by 22%. The problem? Magnesium deficiency is hard to detect, and it rarely shows up in standard blood tests. Standard blood tests miss this critical danger. Only about 1% of your body's magnesium is found in the bloodstream. The rest is stored in your bones, muscles, and tissues. That means even if your blood test says your magnesium levels are normal, you could still be dangerously deficient where it truly matters, at the cellular level. And the signs are easy to miss. Muscle cramps at night, fatigue, irregular heartbeat, and difficulty sleeping. All of these could be warning signs of magnesium deficiency. If you're taking certain medications like diuretics or proton pump inhibitors, often used for acid reflux, your risk of deficiency skyrockets. So what can you do? You need a two-part solution. First, increase your intake of magnesium-rich foods like dark leafy greens, nuts, seeds, whole grains, and dark chocolate. But here's the catch. Modern farming has stripped much of the magnesium from our soil. Even healthy food doesn't contain as much as it used to. That's why most seniors need supplementation. Look for magnesium glycinate or magnesium citrate. These forms are absorbed far better than the cheap and commonly used magnesium oxide. Start with 200 milligrams at bedtime and slowly increase to 400 milligrams if needed. Bedtime is best because magnesium helps your body relax and sleep more deeply, which also lowers blood pressure naturally. Always take it with food to avoid stomach upset. And if you have kidney issues, talk to your doctor before starting any supplement. Mistake number 4. The exercise trap that's raising your blood pressure. This one might surprise you. Certain types of exercise can actually make high blood pressure worse. A study from the Mayo Clinic found that high-intensity workouts in seniors over 60 with uncontrolled hypertension increased the risk of serious heart problems by 35%. That's because intense activities like heavy lifting, sprinting, or intense cycling can cause your blood pressure to spike dangerously high. In some cases, systolic pressure during heavy lifting can shoot up to 300 millimeters of mercury. That's a major red flag, especially for seniors already managing hypertension. Plus, intense exercise releases stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline, which can keep your blood pressure elevated long after your workout is done. But here's the good news. The right type of exercise is like natural medicine. A massive review of 391 studies found that regular moderate exercise lowered blood pressure by an average of 8.3 systolic and 5.2 diastolic points. That's as effective as many medications, with none of the side effects. So what's the right kind of exercise? Use what experts call the talk test. You should be able to carry on a conversation while moving, but not sing. That means walking briskly, swimming, light biking, or doing Tai Chi. Anything that keeps your heart rate between 50% and 70% of your max. Do this 30 to 45 minutes a day, at least 5 days a week. Start with a gentle 10-minute warm-up, and always cool down afterward to help your body gradually return to its normal rhythm. Avoid holding your breath while lifting weights or doing any movement that strains your body. If you do resistance training, stick to light weights with higher reps and never hold your breath during the movement. And for the first few weeks, monitor your blood pressure before and after exercise to see how your body responds. Mistake number 3. The hidden sodium sources. Sabotaging your health. So you've stopped adding salt to your food, but your blood pressure is still high. Why? Here's the hidden truth. 75% of the sodium we consume doesn't come from the salt shaker. It's hiding in everyday foods. A study by the CDC and research in the New England Journal of Medicine found that simply reducing daily sodium by 1,200 milligrams could prevent 92,000 deaths every year in the US. So where is all this hidden salt coming from? You might be shocked to learn that bread is the #1 source of sodium in the American diet. One slice can have up to 230 milligrams of sodium, and most people eat more than one. Restaurant meals are even worse, often containing twice the recommended sodium limit for seniors with high blood pressure. And don't be fooled by healthy labels. Low-fat salad dressings, vegetable juices, cottage cheese, even some cereals, are all packed with hidden sodium. Here's why it matters more as we age. Older kidneys aren't as efficient at filtering sodium, so it builds up in the bloodstream. This pulls more water into your blood vessels, increasing both blood volume and blood pressure. Seniors are twice as sensitive to sodium as younger adults, and the more sodium you consume, the harder your medication has to work, often requiring higher doses and causing more side effects. The solution: become a sodium detective. Read labels closely, not just for sodium content, but for serving sizes. Many manufacturers list small serving sizes to make the numbers look better. Aim for less than 1,500 milligrams per day if you have high blood pressure. When eating out, ask for no added salt or request nutrition info. Many restaurants will accommodate if you ask. At home, flavor your meals with herbs, spices, citrus, or vinegar instead of salt. Rinse canned vegetables and beans to remove up to 40% of the sodium. And most importantly, reduce sodium gradually so your taste buds can adjust. This makes the change sustainable. Mistake number 2. Misunderstanding your blood pressure medications. This mistake is not only common, it's deadly. Research from Yale University found that patients who didn't fully understand their blood pressure medications were 3.4 times more likely to suffer a heart attack or stroke within 5 years. The reason? High blood pressure treatment is more complex than most people realize. Many seniors need 2 or even 3 different medications to keep their blood pressure under control. Each one works differently, comes with its own side effects, and can interact with other medications or even certain foods in unique and sometimes dangerous ways. For example, ACE inhibitors can raise potassium levels to dangerous levels if combined with the wrong supplements or salt substitutes. Beta blockers can mask symptoms of low blood sugar in diabetics. Diuretics can deplete essential minerals like potassium and magnesium and even trigger gout attacks. Yet the average doctor's appointment leaves just a few rushed minutes to cover all these crucial details. What makes this mistake even more dangerous is what happens next. Many people start feeling better, see a few good readings, and decide to cut back or stop their medications altogether. But a massive study following over 400,000 patients found that 50% stopped taking their blood pressure meds within the first year, and 75% of those who stopped experienced a major cardiovascular event within 3 years. The irony? Blood pressure meds work so well that people feel fine and assume they don't need them anymore. It's like jumping out of an airplane and throwing away your parachute mid-flight, just because you're not falling yet. Here's how to avoid this deadly mistake. At your next appointment, bring all your medications and supplements in their original bottles. Ask your doctor to explain how each one works, when and how to take it, what side effects to watch for, and which foods, drinks, or drugs to avoid. Write this information down or ask for a printed summary. Don't be afraid to ask questions, even if they seem basic. Request a medication review twice a year to make sure your regimen is still right for you. If you're experiencing side effects, don't stop the medication on your own. Instead, track your symptoms in a small diary and discuss alternatives with your doctor. Mistake number 1, ignoring the stress blood pressure spiral. And now we reach the number 1 mistake that's quietly damaging the hearts and brains of millions of older adults: chronic, unmanaged stress. Research shows this can raise your risk of stroke by 62% and heart attack by 45%, even if everything else in your health is under control. A 20-year study from Carnegie Mellon University tracking 5,000 adults found that those with high chronic stress were 4.5 times more likely to develop hypertension, even after accounting for diet, activity, and other health factors. Why is stress so dangerous? Because when you're under stress, your body releases a flood of hormones like cortisol, adrenaline, and norepinephrine. These chemicals immediately raise your blood pressure by increasing your heart rate and narrowing your blood vessels. But chronic stress keeps those hormones elevated 24/7, essentially bathing your arteries in a chemical storm that stiffens blood vessels and wears down your cardiovascular system. Research from the University of California found that chronically stressed individuals had blood vessels 37% stiffer than those with lower stress. That stiffness translates directly into higher blood pressure. And the spiral doesn't stop there. As blood pressure rises, so does anxiety. People worry about their numbers, fear having a stroke, and stress over medications. This fear-driven anxiety causes blood pressure to rise even higher, creating a vicious loop. A study published in Psychosomatic Medicine found that 83% of newly diagnosed hypertension patients experienced hypertension distress, a specific type of stress that actually made their condition worse. Even more alarming? Stress makes medications less effective. Research shows that stressed individuals need 40% higher doses to achieve the same blood pressure control as their calmer peers. But here's the hope. Science shows that managing stress can lower blood pressure as effectively as adding a new medication, without the side effects. A review of 107 studies found that regular stress management lowered systolic blood pressure by 10.7 points and diastolic by 7.9 points on average. Here's what you can do today. Deep breathing, 4 to 7 to 8 technique. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 7, exhale for 8. Repeat 4 times, especially before checking your blood pressure. This activates your body's relaxation system instantly. Progressive muscle relaxation. Start at your toes, tense each muscle group for 5 seconds, then release. Work your way up to your head. Practicing daily can reduce blood pressure by up to 10 points. Mindfulness or guided meditation. You don't need hours or silence. Just 10 minutes a day with an app like Calm or Headspace can make a real difference. Final thought, small changes add up. Your heart has been working every second of your life to keep you going. Now it's time to give something back. Avoiding these 5 common mistakes can dramatically improve your health, reduce your medication burden, and protect your brain, kidneys, and heart for years to come. Now we'd love to hear from you. What's the biggest blood pressure mistake you've made or seen someone else make? Have you discovered any helpful routines, foods, or lifestyle changes that made a real difference? Share your experience in the comments below. We read every one. Thanks for watching and take care of your heart. It's the only one you've got.